everyone, it's Analytical Chick. I wanted to do a video. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I had to gather my thoughts. I wanted to do a video how I moved from considering myself pro-choice to considering myself pro-life. Now, previously I was holding by the viability of life argument, so I was against late-term abortion. So I was partway there. But anyway, 80% of all people, including myself, oppose late-term abortions. I also at one point, learned that taxes are being used to subsidize Planned Parenthood. And I know about fungibility because I have a little bit of a business background. And, I was always saying, well, I'm not really either one. So, and then the Kavanaugh hearings came up. And while the hearings were going on, I was arguing with the leftists on, I think, Facebook. And so I told the person, oh, you guys are going through an awful lot of trouble just because you want to sell baby parts. And, they respond to me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it seems like a lot of times when I am arguing with a leftist and I say stuff, they, oh, that's not true. You heard that on InfoWars. And then I come back and say, like, I don't really watch InfoWars, and then they'll be like, Fox News. So, like, that's, like, their whole go-to thing, like, InfoWars, Fox News. But I knew it wasn't either of those. So, I actually got curious, and I went to look to find out where I had heard that, or to try to figure that out. So, I ended up seeing the videos from Center for Medical Progress. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're, like, James O'Keefe style videos. Maybe James O'Keefe was inspired by them. But where they go undercover and they pretend to be something. Well, they pretended to be in the market for baby body parts. And they interviewed with all these people from these different Planned Parenthoods. They went into clinics. There's a lot of videos. I believe they were barred through a court order. Like, they got sued by Planned Parenthood. They were barred from making further videos, which, of course, is completely unconstitutional. But, how it is. And so another thing I realized was that it's the left's narrative. The left has a narrative. Well, if you're a little bit pro-choice, you're supposed to call yourself pro-choice. So, and that came from the left. That's something that somehow got ingrained in me before I had, a while back. So, also the Constitution, the 10th Amendment. So Roe v. Wade should be overturned under the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment says, here's these handful of things that the federal government deals with. Everything else is supposed to be dealt with the states or, quote unquote, the people, which would be like a local government, county, city, whatever, town. Furthermore, there's the issues with the breakdown of the family. So the left has also, I believe it's the left that's convinced men to sleep around. You always hear like, oh, it's natural. You have those urges. It's natural. Don't be resisting those urges. And I even hear right-wingers defend this, and I feel like this is a narrative that the left put out. Because even if it's natural, why can't we talk about self-control? And talking about women needing careers, and, it's the men on the right have no problem talking about the narrative that the left says women should get careers, but they never want to talk about the fact that it's a narrative that self-control is not a good thing for men, but it is. So they're also convincing everyone to go to college, which means they delay marrying, they delay having a family, 4 years, and then you want to pay off your college debt. Well, people aren't having kids until like 28, 30 years old. Even later. If abortion wasn't legal, or if it was at least harder to get, I think a lot of women would be more careful. They wouldn't be sleeping around as much. They'd be, or when they do, they would be sticking to their guns more and telling the men, like, no, you have to wrap up your little present before you give it to me. Sorry, I don't want that present unwrapped. And, because there would be no option for these women to avoid the consequences. Whereas now, I think a lot of women are just like, what? If anything happens, I'll just. What? You'll just murder. It's pretty scary that women can do that. Looked up abortion laws in other countries and realized that there's actually huge nuance. Like everybody, well, what about rape? Well, there are countries who allow that. Also, that's kind of a cop-out because in this day and age, we have the morning after pill. I believe it's called Plan B. $50. You walk into the drugstore and get it. You don't need a prescription or anything. So, I mean, you shouldn't be getting raped that often. And it's certainly cheaper than an abortion. So, and we are one of or the least restrictive country. Like if you look at Mexico, in Mexico, you can usually get an abortion up till the 12th week, but then it gets very difficult. Depending on where you are, there's some places where it's easier than others, but Mexico is much more restrictive on abortion than the US. And when you look at the Middle East, I think Saudi Arabia, women can't get them at all. So wow. Yeah. So that's basically what I wanted to cover. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I will see you all next time.
Oh, well, people need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff. Oh, well, people need to be awake. People need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff. Oh, well.
And it's so politically engaged.
And is so politically engaged.